Hey, Mike.
Hello, Andy.
I need to ask you a question.
I've told you I'm not touching any more flamingos.
Flamingos?
Yes. Oh, you're not going... Right, okay, sorry.
No, that wasn't the question.
I told you I'm not allowed back at London Zoo.
No, that's not the question, although I was going to talk to you about that later.
No.
My question is this. Have you ever seen trees of green?
Why are you talking like that?
Red roses too.
Okay, that's actually quite creepy, stop it.
I've seen them bloom for me and you. Have you ever thought to yourself, I really need an Attack of the 50-Foot Nerd shirt?
I think you need a lozenge more than anything else, mate, to be honest with you.
My voice apparently does that sometimes.
Does it really?
Yes.
Okay.
It happens when I smoke too many cigars. And listen to Hitler.
What?
I don't know.
Have I ever thought I need a shirt? Well, I've got one, but I can always do with more. Why? What's on your mind?
Oh, well,
I was thinking... What's on your mind?
Well, boy, I was thinking that anyone listening to this will think, A, that I'm a racist.
But I'm by you.
Yeah, and B... Christ. B... What?
Tell me about your plan.
My plan? Yes, I was thinking that maybe the people listening would actually be interested in shirts.
Probably. Might be a bit more... It might be a bit more entertaining than this advert so far, but we're laughing, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Why? Are we selling T-shirts, are we, Andy?
We appear to be.
Oh, lovely. Why didn't you tell us more?
Well, basically, if you so wanted one of these shirts, you could just send us an email, and we'll give you a selection of 10. They all come with the 50-Foot Nerds logo on the front.
Orgasmic.
It comes with 10 different sayings on the back.
Your choice of 10 different sayings, rather. Not 10 all on the back.
Well, yes, they're not all on the same shirt.
Yeah.
Because that would be the most nonsensical sentence in all of existence.
Oh, damn it, we built a career on it, so let's carry on.
Yes. Would you like to know what those 10 different phrases are?
Please inform me, because I have not heard this before.
Right. No, you have not.
On the last 4 episodes.
Yeah. And neither have they. The 10 that you can get is Goosh, He Be Graveyard Dead, They All Float Down Here, I'd Jizz on That for $1, I've Got Sexy Hands, Ghost Hawk, Yeah. I still can't pronounce that one.
It's pronounced yeah.
That one, yes. Flippity Thrip. No. Why? And finally, Tap Dancing on Gravel since 2012.
I did think after last week's episode, I think we might add a new one in there, which was, it's so much fun, my left arm is tingling.
Yeah. We may indeed add that. Although, to be fair, listening to last week's episode, we the one we do need to put in is to Google. Anyway, how do you reckon people will actually buy this shirt?
With money, hopefully.
Well, yeah, hopefully. Well, the main thing that you need to do if you want to buy one of these is email us 50footnerds@gmail.com, just with the subject, give me a shirt, and then just list which shirt you want, what size you need, your name, your address, all the normal things that you would need to order something online, social security number, your visa and number on the back.
I need your account number and your so code, sir.
Yes. And then we'll email you back with a with what will we email them back with? The PayPal address.
But that's not all, though. Is that not?
No, it isn't. We shall also email you a link and a code to download a special bonus pod.
My goodness.
About what? We don't know.
We haven't recorded it yet, nor have we even had any discussions about the recording of it yet, but we will.
I'm sure we'll think of something.
Yes, we will. We will. And once we come up with it, we'll record it, and once you place your order, we'll send you the link and the special passcode, and you can have that exclusive T-shirt wearers only podcast. You can be in the super secret sexy club. Oh, yes.
And I lost my train of thought. What's the next thing? The price.
Yes,
they might
the price.
Know that.
The 10p price. Goosh.
Yeah. So if you want one of these, all that you have to do is just give us 15 quid.
50? But what? Okay. 15 pounds. That's sterling. Amazing value, and that is wherever you are in the entire world.
Indeed.
We may charge a little postage fee for Mars and the Moon, but everything else on the planet Earth is £15.
Indeed.
If you live in Outer Mongolia, we're going to make a loss sending you a T-shirt. So we really should have thought this through better. But that's not the point. The point is, we want you to wear our T-shirts with pride and say, yes, I listen to the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds goosh. Or, Hebrew Graveyard, or whatever you've got on the back of your shirt.
Yes. So, buy our shirts.
Or I'll cut you.
Do it!
This is Colin Baker, who you may say, that's right, and you are listening to the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds, you demented people.
Oh yeah, someone's just retweeted this onto my timeline, let me read it. The greatest moments in human history. I might read it as Bane. Alright, boss, heading home from the city, I'm greeted by an incredibly nice Russian-sounding bus driver with a smile on his face. About 4 stops later, in the valley, of course, a bogan hops on with his skanky, I assume, girlfriend. May have been sister, may have been both. Naturally, he does not have the money for a bus, so the bogan, henceforth referred to as shit-skull, blames the bus driver. Using all manner of racial slurs, loud profanities, and general offensive douchebaggery, shit-skull proceeds to be an arsehole, and makes the entire bus shuffle uncomfortably in their seats. All except one man. Ah, this man. I wish I could be this man, this average-looking hero that stepped up to defend the poor bus driver. Look, mate, he's just doing his job. How's about you calm down and leave the driver alone? It's not his fault you can't pay. The logic of the situation made a slight whistling noise as it passed over Shitskull's head. We could see the Tonka truck gears clunk and grind in this man's underdeveloped cranium. Calm down. Must be a challenge. Are you trying to start me, cunt? You wanna go me, you fucking cunt? You wanna fucking go me? Ah, truly the words of a poet. Not even Oscar Wilde himself could have predicted the Batman-esque reaction of, yes, actually, let's do this, off the bus. You could hear a penny drop as the 256 megabyte brain inside Shitskull's shitty little skull ticked over. Finally, the judging eyes of the bus, coupled with the high-pitching, slurring voice of his sister-daughter, telling him to take him. Sorry, that made me laugh. Telling him to take him, and, quoting directly here, don't take none of that shit, babe. Convinced them both to step off the bus, ready to fight. Calmer than a monk on morphine, our hero turns to the bus driver, simply says, shut the door, mate, and walks back to his motherfucking seat. The bus driver shut the door, drove away, and the entire bus erupted. We were clapping, we were cheering. I gave Shitskull the finger out of the window, and I'm pretty sure people hugged. Thank you, stranger, for making humans okay in my book. Of course, Shitskull should be punished, and his punishment must be more severe. So there we go. Bane should do more audiobooks.
Yeah. Definitely.
50 Shades of Grey. Read by Bane. He slammed it in my arse and I screamed in pleasure. 50 Shades of Wayne.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
They came like a bolt out of the blue to discuss everything in geekdom. When Andy and Mike get together, it is the attack of the 50-foot nerds.
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast. My name is Mike Bell, and with me, as always, is my co-host with the most who wears jackets.
I wear jackets, apparently. Andy Weirs.
That's right. That's
Actually, I'm Louis Armstrong. Sorry.
And it's not just me and Andy this week. No, we've got another third nerd. Mystery third nerd, please reveal yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brenden, a.k.a. Brenden Myles Harkens.
And anyone who is an attentive listener will remember that a while ago I said I did a guest verse for a guy's album. This is the guy.
And Brendan's going to be joining us for this episode of the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds, where we discuss all things weird, geeky, wonderful and strange, and movies and TV, and basically anything else that takes my fancy as I put together the news stories. So
yes.
And Andy does his comic stuff. And
then we constantly go on tangents.
That's true. Now, this, like last week's episode, may be the first episode for a number of new listeners, due to the fact that I attended the Who at Hoylake Doctor Who convention on Saturday just gone, the 28th of July, and I handed out over 150 leaflets of the actual show. I say handed out, I left them on the chairs, for the attendees there. So if anyone is from the Who at Hoylake convention, then get in touch, let us know what you thought of the show. And by
Hello,
getting in touch with us,
Whovians!
That's correct. Nice, good, correct phrase. Use the phrase there, so well done.
I'd seen you use it before, so I figured.
Right. Fair enough. Yes, and if you do want to contact us, there are a number of ways. First and foremost, you can catch us via our Twitter, which is at 50footnerds. You can email us anything to 50footnerds@gmail.com, or you can always catch us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds. And I turn to my co-host first of all this week and say, Andy, how's your week been?
All right. I had to work my birthday, which was rather depressing. It's half my fault and half Christine's fault, because although I did go over to Christine's house on the way to work to pick up the only birthday card I actually got on my birthday. Yeah. I got all the rest of them later. But she said, "Oh, why didn't you book off your birthday?" And I'm like, because...
Wait at me, bitch.
What?
Oh, book off. Right, sorry.
Yeah. Now, she says, why didn't you book it as holiday? And I was like, because you wanted to book it. And she's like, I did? And I'm like, yeah, because your daughter's birthday is the day before mine, so... And she was like, oh, yeah. So...
Well, I may not have sent you a card, but you did ask for the gift of Scorn, and Scorn is what I sent you.
You did.
I found a mock-up of a magazine called Scorn Magazine and sent it to Andy.
Although I was referencing the Skeletor comic that I mentioned before, so I figured only Daniel would understand the reference.
Well, you want to be a bit more specific then, don't you?
Yes. But though that's given me perfect ideas for birthday cards for people in the future.
Good. How was your week then, Brenden?
It was actually good. I did something that I don't normally do on most times during the weekends. Like if it's really too hot, I don't actually go out, but I actually went out with the family. It's pretty cool.
Nice times. It's always good to spend time with the family.
Indeed.
As I've covered, I went to the Who at Hoylake convention this week and completely fell in love with Louise Jameson. She may be 61, but she is full-on Goosh-worthy. Oh, it's the eyes, man. It's the eyes. Oh, my Christ, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures I want to judge?
If you check out my Facebook, I'm tagged in about 700 photos because I was running the sound and lighting and video for the day, which meant I was on stage at all times running the mixing board, and I'm on the back of about 700 photos so far.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be doing all over again next year, which I'm very much looking forward to. Got to spend time with quite a lot of Doctor Who-style celebrities, including but not limited to Mark Strickson, Sophie Aldred, Keith Temple, Colin Spall, who was a great guy, a bunch of people, and also I got to meet Colin Baker, who was lovely, the Sixth Doctor. Lovely chap. I remember I was deliberately waiting until everyone else had finished getting their stuff signed before I went up. And so the fact that I was busy as it was anyway, because this right at the end of the day when I was packing everything up, and he said to me, "You the very last one?" I said, "Yep, I'm the last in the queue." He went, "Nope, you're not the last in the queue. You're the start of the next one." I was like, "Fair enough." I wasn't last though, so. But but Colin was a nice guy, and probably on the start of the episode you'll be able to hear. I would have dropped in a little clip of something that he recorded for us. So you'll have heard that already.
I did. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Although I was hoping that you'd be able to get him to say "goosh" or something.
No, I literally just got him to. I just asked him because I was wearing a t-shirt, and he went, "Oh, it's a 50-foot nerd." I went, "Yes." And I said, "Can you just record us something for the show?" And he went, "Yes, certainly." So and he just came up with all that on his own.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was it. So yeah, he's a great guy. Like, well, there we go then. Yep. So it's been a bit of a quiet week, but we've got whatever new stories I could cobble together. So we shall move forward then into the first section, which is People News.
Shriek in terror! It's time to discuss people in geekdom.
And our first bit of People News this week concerns Mr. Michael Caine. Him with balls the size of a tangerine. Michael Caine was due to go to the London premiere of The Dark Knight Rises. Not this week, it was actually the week before. But this story's only just recently come to light in the last couple of days. He didn't actually get to go to the premiere in London of the movie, and the reason why was revealed this week. Michael Caine was walking along Lexington Avenue in New York and fell in a pothole. Wow. Because he twisted his ankle, there's no way I could fly to England to be at the premiere of this movie.
We interrupt this broadcast and bring you this important bulletin from the United Press.
News just in, Michael Caine is old.
But not as old as Stan Lee.
Oh boy, I'm as ancient as the dinosaurs.
No one's as old as Stan Lee. No.
I was born in the Cretaceous period.
In the mystic lands before time, Stan Lee was the one who created Adam and Eve.
They're doing a new series of Walking with Dinosaurs. It's going to be called Walking with Stan Lee. Michael Caine's supposed to be in it, but he's pushing it out at the last minute.
Because he fell over his own foot. Oh God! I just like the last bit where it's like, Kane's close friend. I'll do a voice.
He's absolutely fine now.
Kane's close friend
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
I spoke to his wife.
His wife's called Shakira. I spoke to his wife Shakira on the phone. He hurt his foot, but he's back in Britain now, and we're having lunch next week.
Well, the thing about his wife is her breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains.
Oh, I'm just waiting. She's gonna leave. She's gonna have to do an official statement. They're like, the bottom line is, his wife says her hips don't lie, but his do.
Her hips don't lie, but his is dislocated. Luckily, Albert was on hand to take over the role. Thank
God,
you for that,
not Albert
Alfred.
again.
You're very welcome, Alfred. What have we got to say, boys? We've been over this before. I don't know. Neither do I.
Christ.
Oh, God. Do you know what? I just want to talk about Dark Knight Rises because I saw it yesterday and I'm just like, ah! But I really
No
won't.
spoilers either of you.
No.
I know Brendan's seen it like twice.
Yeah, I've seen it twice.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, man. But I mean, I discovered this week from watching that Bane actually has the voice of the most bored old man on the planet. Because Bane should be all like, I'm going to destroy the citizens of Gotham. But in fact, he's
supposed to sound like Louis Armstrong on steroids.
But instead, he's more like, I've been to the shops and I can't find my coupons. I think I left them on the bus, Mr. Wayne.
Oh, God.
Sort of like a muffled Sean Connery?
Yes. Some people said that I played Bane in the movie, but I didn't. It was my son, who sounds like an old man. Yes, that's right, I do. Yes, I know. What are you doing here? You know, in my house, there can be only one. I just came to tell you that Ryan Reynolds is at the door, and he wants to fight you. Does he now? When he can get to fuck? Of course, Ryan Reynolds being in the Highlander reboot.
Yeah.
As that joke that fell on deaf ears, I'm going to move on to the next story now, man.
No, I got it, but at first I was like, since when did James Bond have to take on Green Lantern? That was the first thought that I had. Oh, which reminds me.
We wouldn't want to see that movie.
Yeah, the Green Lantern versus James Bond. Which reminds me, did either of you watch the opening ceremony for the Olympics?
No, I was out drinking with, again, Colin Spall.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, my brother Simon showed me clips from it. I thought that loads of people were like joking and stuff on Twitter about it, but then
we covered this a few weeks ago, didn't we? I'm sure I mentioned something about it on the show.
What's that?
About James Bond and the Queen.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty certain.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I just I thought that people were joking, and then Simon actually showed me the clip where the Queen and James Bond jump out of a helicopter together. I was like, what?
She's all like, Mr. Bond, we've got to go and open the Olympic ceremony. And he's like, yeah, all right then, love. And then he comes up out of a helicopter. It was strange. Very strange. But, you know.
Anyway.
Apparently the Olympic opening ceremony was pretty spectacular. Again, I didn't really get to see any of it. But I think I was pissed off. I was pissed off that it was like 7 people all lit, like it was like a fucking like a dynamite fuse or something like that, where they all lit something at the same time and it all went together and lit up the big cauldron. It was ridiculous. Like a firing squad in it, you know what I mean? You don't know which one of them actually pulled the trigger as such. You know, so you can't be there in years to come and say, oh, I lit the Olympic torch, because you might not have been the one whose fire got there first. So that's an RA. But anyway, let's talk about Colin Farrell.
Michael Caine's old, anyway.
Yes, let's talk about Colin Farrell. He says
still wants a costume?
He still wants a fucking costume. But apparently, according to Colin Farrell, life is really fucking boring. And that's because he doesn't do drugs or alcohol anymore.
Well, if he should listen to us and then play the 50-foot drinking game.
No, he's give everything up, apparently. He's
what a douche.
No, he doesn't do fuck all now, apparently. He's even given up smoking. He doesn't do anything now. Which I think is a real change in his personality. Some may say that his personality, he's become a different person now. That sounds familiar with the new movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
Total remake bollocks. So basically Colin Farrell saying, oh, I reinvented myself as a whole nother person. By the way, you know that film that I've got where I become a whole nother fucking person? This wasn't invented at all, this story about me, giving everything up. Bullshit.
Yeah. Or, again, reading the article, it's like, he's like, oh, I'm going to live a healthy lifestyle and try to become a better person or whatever. And he's like, I take a shitload of vitamins. It's so fucking boring.
No, he's Irish. You got to do it in an Irish voice.
Oh. Well, you do it. Wait,
Wait, hang on. There we go. Oh God, it's quite a long quiz. One of the big things that I did, I was drawn about drugs into the ritual. I don't like the same level of energy into healthy living as I did into unhealthy living. But I eat really well, drink loads of green tea, and I take a shitload of vitamins. It's so fucking boring. Life has mutated to take on this sweet simplicity that I'm really fucking okay with. I've burned so many bridges in the film. Yeah, I burned so many bridges in the film industry that I couldn't get a fucking meeting. But now I'm just enjoying life. Potato picora, where's me Lucky Charms?
Read it again as Clarice Starling.
Fuck you. That's enough Colin Farrell. He doesn't deserve my fucking attention on this podcast with his total remake bollocks.
Well, you were the one who put the story on.
I know. Well, there we go.
Mainly just so you could rant about Colin Farrell again.
Yes, that's what I do. Nick Starr's alive.
Oh, he is?
He is, yes. He's still alive, apparently. We've covered this a couple of times, about him going missing and what have you, going off to rehab, disappearing, blah, blah, blah. Well, he took to Twitter this week to basically say that he's back and he's alright and everything, and the tweet that he put up was, he says, I really want to thank everyone, strangers and comrades, for all the love and support freely given to myself and my family. Now, that was tweeted yesterday, Sunday, 29th of July. He added a message to his wife, Rose, by saying, all my love to my beautiful wife. I couldn't have gotten here without you, sweetheart. That'd be the same wife he didn't even email to tell he was in rehab. Didn't phone, didn't write, didn't anything. She had to find out from other people that he emailed that he was in rehab. Yeah, he fucking loves her, doesn't he? Didn't even fucking think to speak to her. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't actually know who he was until I looked his name up. When they said he went missing, I was like, "Who's that?" So I'm not.
He was John Connor in Terminator 3, also known as the shit one. Although saying that, a close call with Terminator Salvation, but at least that had the added bonus of that was the film that Christian Bale went fucking loopy on.
Do I fucking walk around and rip that? No, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want? No!
And he was also the yellow bastard in Sin City. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched that film.
Oh, dude.
I thought we were waiting so then I could watch it and we could both get drunk and we'd be like, and you'd be like, why haven't you watched this film before? I'd be like, well, you're a dick.
No,
or something.
You gotta watch it, man. Don't wait for the. I mean, Iron Sky. That was okay to watch for the first time for the commentary. You need to see Sin City beforehand.
All right, well,
it's Frank Miller, for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, because his record as of late has been really good.
You.
Like, what's your latest book about, Frank? Oh, well, basically, Batman goes into Iraq and beats up terrorists. What? Okay, so
the stories in the Sin City movie were written back when Frank Miller was good.
Ah, right. Well, that's all right then.
And they're pretty much word for word.
Oh, cool.
In fact, they're pretty much panel for shot for shot, panel for panel, really, because they actually used photocopies of the books as the storyboards of the movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's why Frank Miller is credited as a director on it, even though he didn't really have anything to do with the actual filming.
Oh.
Because basically Robert Rodriguez said, look, he already directed it in his book, so all I'm doing is just basically being a cinematographer and dealing with the actors.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Which, I fully support, and hopefully by the time he actually gets around to shooting Sin City 2, we'll have a bit more Frank Miller on our screens. It's time to talk about Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen has been going crazy again this week, basically.
Oh, God's sake.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen claims that he's seen ghosts.
Who's he going to call?
Well, bear in mind, this is the same guy who spent most of the last few years in a complete haze of drugs and booze. Again, like Colin Farrell. But apparently he told Playboy this week, I don't know whether or not he was talking to our old friend James Franco, the Francophile. He says, when my friend Zalman King died, I went to comfort his widow, Pat. Pat King. We were making a toast, and I saw Zalman, who'd been dead for 4 hours, dance through the background. It was a trip. I'm not fucking high or experimenting with psychedelics and shit. I just accept stuff like that and don't try to figure it out. I saw these people, or the spirits, or whatever, for a reason. I don't know what the reason is right now. Maybe it'll be revealed at some other time.
My life is an episode of Lost!
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, fucking Charlie Sheen is Haley. That's
Next interview will just be ranting loads of numbers.
You know, there's not much I'm surprised with when it comes to Charlie Sheen. So I mean, it's
the dude has gone from winning to loser, plain and simple.
No, he's gone from hey, look, I'm a credible actor to oh, tiger blood.
When was he a credible actor?
Well, he had a halfway decent career, didn't he?
At one point.
Well,
back in the Breakfast Club and shit, you know.
Well, that's what I mean. He's like slowly devolved into being, I am a grand wizard of some sort. I have the blood of the Olympians. I will snort this coke and you will like it.
Now, but to be fair, any man that can get 2 Playboy models to live in his house in a 3-way relationship, granted, okay, yeah, he's minted, so he can, you know, he can do that. The rest of us can't. But fair play to him for that, at least. Well,
really,
this is the part of the show where we discuss people who've left us this week. We've got one, and this week she be graveyard dead.
My son is dead. My son is graveyard dead. Graveyard dead. Graveyard dead.
Yeah, this is Mary Tam, who played Romana, the first Romana in Doctor Who. She lost a battle for... Sorry?
There was more than one?
Yes, there was 2. There was Mary Tam played the first Romana in season 16, The Key to Time, and then she was replaced by Lala Ward the next season as Romana. She regenerated basically, and yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Lala Ward actually went on to marry Tom Baker. But we're not talking about her, we're talking about Mary Tam. Apparently she had an 18-month-long battle with cancer, and she died on Friday morning. Was it Friday or Thursday? Thursday. Yeah, at the convention this weekend, it was very sad. Yeah, she got referenced a few times during the day, so much so when Louise Jameson came on, first thing she said, she just wanted to say, you know, about marriage. She couldn't even say anything. She just started getting all teary-eyed and stuff, so we just gave a big round of applause instead. But then Colin Baker, when it was time for his panel, he gave such this lovely, almost eulogy about her. It was lovely. I hope someone's got it on video out there. It'll probably be up on YouTube somewhere, but yeah, it was lovely.
We can have a look when we're editing the show. If we can find a clip, we'll put it in.
If we can, we can. If not, then fair enough. But yeah, no, she was a great actress. I mean, she even did work with Big Finish, playing the first incarnation of Romana again in the Gallifrey audio series, which basically but it's not actually Romana though. It's the Imperatrix, which is basically a female power spirit that lives in the Matrix on Gallifrey that gets a physical form in the form of the first Romana. It's fucking weird, but it makes sense if you actually listen to the audio series. But it was great to hear the first and second Romanas interacting with each other. Yeah,
Gallifrey has a Matrix.
Yeah, well, that had the Matrix before the Matrix was the Matrix.
I was thinking more the thing that defeated Unicron.
No, the Matrix on Gallifrey is basically a enormous computer system that holds the collective consciousness of every Time Lord and holds information with regards to every event in the past, present, or future that ever will have or ever might ever be happening.
Ah.
Yes.
So, kind of like...
and the only person who can enter the Matrix is the president of Gallifrey. They have to hold, like, the key of Rassilon and the crown of Rassilon and blah, 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 blah. It's weird. But, yeah. She was great. Actually, she was really good, really quite elegant, almost aloof in a way. And she's very much an equal to the Doctor. To the point where I made a point this weekend, and it's been picked up on by quite a lot of people, saying that she seems to have become almost a template for what River Song became in the recent series, essentially being a female equal to the Doctor. So Mary Tam certainly set the bar for what was to follow, essentially. So yeah, big book of a win for her. Gone, but will certainly never be forgotten. So farewell to Mary Tam. And
what have we got next?
Well, it's a whiny bitch alert. Yes, this week's whiny bitch is after what we said about them last week. All the people who suffered at the screening of Dark Knight Rises in Aurora, Colorado. One of the people who was injured there, basically, in fact, no, he wasn't even injured. To beg your pardon, there's a guy called Torrance Brown Jr. was not injured in the shooting spree, but his friend AJ Boyk was shot in chest and later died. We mentioned him last week. Brown has said that he's suffering from emotional trauma from the incident, and he's decided to sue any fucker that he can. He's suing the cinema, he's suing Warner Brothers, and he's suing
the Killer's Doctors.
That's right, yes.
We're still not naming them.
No, do not name that bastard. So he's basically suing anyone that he can. Basically saying, oh, it's
apart
horrible.
from the actual guy who did it.
Yeah, I mean, how the fuck is Warner Brothers responsible for that? He's suing the cinema for saying, oh, you should have had security guards on the emergency exits. How the fuck
who
were they
expects
supposed...
that sort of stuff?
Who's going to think, oh yeah, I'll put a security guard there just in case a gun-toting maniac comes in and shoots the place up while people are watching fucking the Lorax and whatever, you know what I mean? Motherfucker.
It's kind of stupid.
Stupid is not the word, mate. Stupid is an understatement.
Brown's lawyer says, somebody has to be responsible for the rampant violence that is shown today. And it's like, yeah, the mental who did it.
Yeah.
Duh. Christ. People like this infuriate me.
And that's why he's whiny bitch of the week.
Well, we've gone depressing again.
Yeah, no, he's a...
Well, it's less depressing and more like ranting.
More angry.
Yeah.
We're angry nerds this week.
This show has become the Incredible Hulk.
Nerds want Smash Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's what I was waiting for. Oh, which reminds me, because it was my birthday on Friday.
Rub it in. Happy birthday, Andy.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say what Connor got me. He got that DVD, like the 3 DVD set of the 2 Ultimate Avengers movies, and Next Avengers.
Oh, I didn't like the Next Avengers actually.
I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
I liked that Thor had a daughter who had that sword that worked pretty much the same way as Mjolnir. Although I don't think they ever named the sword.
Not that I know of.
And that the bad guy was Ultron. That was cool.
I didn't like the fact that Cap Jr. was basically the son of Captain America and the Black Widow. I thought that was a bit weird.
Yeah, but then I was also wondering why Hawkeye never appeared in the first 2 Ultimate Avengers films.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden there's this kid in this. Well,
yeah,
it's kind of set in that universe, but not exactly. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the point, anyway.
Yeah, I was watching the first Ultimate Avengers, and that was the one that you said about, like with Incredible Hulk picking up the hammer, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember you said, he manages to get it an inch off the ground, so I was looking for that scene, and it got to it. I was like, here's the bit where he just manages to get the hammer above his head, and then he struggles at first, and then he lifts it clean over his head. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
I must have forgot that bit, because I do remember him getting it just off the ground. I don't remember him getting it all the way up.
Then he manages to actually get the thing above his head and lobs it at Thor.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, which knocks Thor over.
You right, it will.
Well, yeah. But then I just like that Hulk goes and picks it up again. And he picks it up a second time. The second time, it doesn't even take him any effort. He just lifts it straight above his head again. And I'm like...
Well, he's that angry that his strength is just... he knows, exactly the right amount of strength he's going to need to pick it up, which is going to be a hell of a lot, which shows you how angry he really is.
Mm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, those films are actually pretty cool.
The Black Panther one's not great.
Yeah.
The first one's brilliant.
Yeah, I did like...
first one's very close to the actual comic.
I didn't realise there was a point when people didn't know that Tony Stark was Iron Man, though.
Not in the Ultimate line. They've always known in the Ultimate line, really. And one of the very first Ultimate Comics, which is Ultimate Team Up, I think it might actually be issue 1. Spider-Man meets Iron Man, and the whole world knows Iron Man's secret identity already.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but they changed it for the animated movie to give a bit more mystery as to who is Iron Man, which by now, you know what I mean?
Even though everyone knows it's Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But, no, it's a great movie. I'm glad you've taken a look at it, actually.
Yeah. Well, I got the DVDs, so as soon as we got to Connor's great-grandma's, I just said to him, do you want to watch Avengers? And he's like, it's not Avengers, it's Iron Man. I'm like, no, but Iron Man's on it, but it's the Avengers. He's like, no, Iron Man. There's Iron Man. I'm like, yeah, but they're the Avengers. Try explaining the concept of the Avengers team to a 3.5-year-old. It doesn't work.
Why do you think Marvel took 5 years to do it to the Joe Public?
Yeah.
In the cinema.
Though that also reminds me, the other week I said that Connor had started making references to Ross Noble.
That's right, yeah.
Things, and he started singing Hare Krishna and stuff. He actually managed to reference 2 separate clips on that thing from the same routine without having previously seen the routine, because when we were he was in the bath and we were playing with the boats, and he was like, oh, make it sail around there. So I was like, I'm going to play up to what he's doing. So I started sailing the boat around going, Hare Krishna.
Oh, God.
And then he grabbed the other boat and then started chasing after it going, Red leader, we've got a drunkard. I was like, how did you know that? I don't know.
Kids, man.
Psychic.
Kids pick up. I'll tell you what the kid did this weekend, because I stayed over at the X's because the convention was not far from my house. So I took Dark Knight Rises with me, because I have a DVD copy of it. I won't go any further than that. But so we were going to watch it there, and I said, I'll watch it on Saturday night when I get back from the convention. I didn't get back until on stupid o'clock in the morning. So by the time I got back, it was pretty much straight to bed. I was knackered. And so the next day, I'm playing with the kid all day, blah, 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 blah. And then when it's time to go home, packing up all my stuff together, and it says to the ex, it says, where's Batman? And she says, I don't know, it was on the side. I said, oh, I haven't seen it. And I see the kid, and she's looking all kind of shifty. And I says to her, have you seen Daddy's DVD? And she went, no. I was like, oh, right, okay, I don't know where it is then. She's like, oh, you're going to have to stay here then, aren't you? You're going to have to come back and live in this house then and look for it. And basically what she's done is she's hid me Batman just so I move back in.
Okay.
Yeah. She wants me and her mum to get back together so much that she's hiding DVDs, because she knows, I love me DVDs. And if I can't find it, I'll have to stay and look for it forever.
Okay.
Which is dead cute in a way, but also at the same time, it's just look, it's not going to happen, kid,
Weird.
Anyway, should we move into the film section?
Probably.
Okay.
Sounder.
Let's do it.
Thrills and chills abound in movie news.
Okay, so the big news that was announced today was something that we discussed, I think it was last week. Peter Jackson put out an official statement today that they are doing 3 Hobbit movies now instead of 2. Now, shall I read the statement that he released?
Yep, can do.
Shall I do it in a voice?
That's completely up to you. More often than not, I've started yelling random things, and you've told me off for it because I've given you stupidly hard voices to do it with.
Go on, pick me one.
My automatic go-to was Ed Wynn, but I thought that'll
not
kill you.
this long now.
No,
Ed Wynn's hard to do to sustain for that long.
Do it in Gollum. That makes sense.
Okay. Hang on, which one, Gollum or Smeagol?
Alternate between start with Smeagol, and then whenever you get to a new paragraph, change.
Okay.
It's only at the end of a shoot that you finally get the chance to sit down and have a look at the film you've made. Recently, Fran, Phil and I did this. Then we watched for the first time an early cut of the first movie process. A large chunk.
I can't do it for that long. No, I can't do that. Oh, God. No, I can't do that.
Well, do it as the opposite of Lord of the Rings and just do it as Voldemort.
I'll do it as Brian Blessed.
What?
Recently, Fran, Phil and I did just this when we watched for the first time an early cut of the first movie, and Gordon was alive!
No. Do that. I'll just read it normal. Early cut of the first movie and a large chunk of the second. We were really pleased with the way the story was coming together, in particular the strength of the characters and the cast who have brought them to life, all of which gave rise to a simple question: do we take this chance to tell more of the tale? And the answer, from our perspective as filmmakers and the fans, was an unreserved yes. We know how much of the story of Bilbo Baggins, the Wizard Gandalf, and the Dwarves' era of Erebor, the rise of the Necromancer, and the Battle of Dol Guldur will remain untold if we do not take this chance. The richness of the story of the Hobbits, as well as some of the related material in the appendices of Lord of the Rings, allows us to tell the full story of the adventures of Bilbo Baggins and the part he played in the sometimes dangerous, but at all times exciting, history of Middle-earth. So, without further ado, and on behalf of New Line Cinema, Warner Brothers Pictures, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Wingnut Films, and the entire cast and crew of the Hobbit films, I'd like to announce that the 2 films will become 3. It's been an unexpected journey indeed, and in the words of Professor Tolkien himself, a tale that grew in the telling. Cheers, Peter J.
Well, that explanation actually makes me a little more hopeful for a third movie. Because before we were just like, oh, he's got 2 movies and now he's just like, I'm going to make a third, I'm going to cash in or whatever. Whereas now, the way he's explained it,
well, there's been a bit of a backlash to it. A lot of people are saying, do you just want to cash in and everything? But, I mean, like you say, from the way he's explained it, it does sound like, he wants to tell as complete a story as he can, which is fair enough. I mean, if you're going to just tell The Hobbit, you ain't going to be putting in the stuff like the Necromancer and whatever, So that's barely in The Hobbit. It's more discussed in Lord of the Rings. So the fact that he wants to bridge the actual films and stuff, then that's fine by me. I'm more than happy with that. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I'd definitely like to see more of that. Now, it's been announced today. Well, it's not even been announced today. It's come out today that the New Line and everyone have they bought 2 new domain names, which could relate to the name of this said third film. 2 names that have been put together is The Hobbit, Riddles in the Dark, and The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, which Smaug is the dragon. Riddles in the Dark.
Riddles in the Dark.
That's the Gollum sequence, which is in the first film. So, I don't quite see how that could be used as the name of one of the movies. So, but the general consensus is looking to be they will do the first film, An Unexpected Journey, The second film would be The Desolation of Smaug, and then the third one would be There and Back Again.
Yeah. That makes the most sense.
Yeah. I mean, because you could do... Because Smaug isn't the end of The Hobbit. There's a lot more that comes after Smaug.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to finish the Smaug tale in the end of the second one, and then do everything else in the third one.
Yeah, where he's on the adventure on the way back to the Shire.
Yeah. That's where you bridge, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings just a bit more. Yeah.
And isn't that guy who lives in the forest? God, I've forgotten his name now.
Tom Bombadil.
No, not Tom Bombadil. The
Bjorn.
That's it.
The bear fella.
Yeah. Is he before or after Smaug? I can't remember.
I think he's slightly before, but you do see him after as well. I can't remember off the top of it. It's been a while since I read the books, you see.
Yeah, I need to read that again because that book is awesome.
Aye, it's a cracking film. Cracking book, even. Yeah. No, man, definitely.
Brenden, you're quiet. What are your opinions?
Well, I really, when I read that they were actually making 3 Hobbit movies, my thought was basically, okay, we have another trilogy on our hands. For better or worse. I'm not really much into the whole, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, books or the films. I have seen all 3 of the Lord of the Rings films, and I'm just kind of debating on whether I would actually see The Hobbit myself, personally.
Well,
I really don't have...
You will see it. I'm sure you will, but it's more of a case of will you see it in a cinema or will you wait for, a Blu-ray release or DVD or whatever.
Yeah, that's my thing. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like 3 hours. I don't know if I really want to sit in the theater for 3 hours and see it rather than just watch it at home.
That was my thing with Return of the King. Is I remember I bought like the largest size Coke that they did at the cinema. And, they just destroyed the ring at Mount Doom, and I was already bursting for the toilet as it was, and I was like, right, okay, I can nearly run out. No, fucking another, hour and 45 minutes or something like that, and they're just pissing around, waving at each other in slow motion.
Like I've said before, if they'd have included the Scouring of the Shire, they wouldn't have had all those stupid endings. They would have got back to, Rivendell. No. Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they would have met up, and then immediately gone back to the Shire, found that all the orcs were bloody laying waste to it, and voila, whole new battle scene, which would have made the last thing go.
And the bit when Frodo's looking into the mirror of Galadriel.
Yeah, but that's stupid.
The homage to the Scouring of the Shire.
Yeah, but it's stupid. They should have included the proper Scouring because that's one of the best parts of the book, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they kind of ended Saruman's story with the Ents at Isengard, you know what I mean? There's not really much more that he needs to do. Which is why, he wasn't in the theatrical cut at all. And then in the extended cut, they just killed him straight off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
No, I'm just looking at the wiki for The Hobbit. So, it's saying about how Smaug is defeated, and then spoilers.
Spoilers for a book that came out 50 years ago.
Yeah.
What a movie that's yet to...
basically, if they end the second one with Smaug being defeated and the dwarves taking possession of the mountain, they can start the third one with Bilbo finding the Arkenstone, which is the heirloom of Thorin's dynasty, whatever, stealing it, the Wood Elves and Lake Men besieging the mountain and requesting compensation, reparations for Lake Town destruction, blah blah, Thorin refusing, and then Bilbo trying to ransom off the Arkenstone to head off a war, but and then him banishing Bilbo and all of that, and then the whole Battle of Five Armies happens. So that can be the whole of the third film can build up to the climax of the Battle of Five Armies. So
there you go. There you go. And Hollywood should be knocking on your door to get this all sorted out, Andy.
Me?
Yes. You and Wikipedia.
I was going to say, because I have the talent of reading Wikipedia.
To Google. Well, there we go. Next story then is, again, I think we've covered this previously, but it seems to be almost confirmed now that a sequel to X-Men First Class will in fact be Days of Future Past.
Cool.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I still haven't seen the first one.
It was really good.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, but I don't see how Days of Future Past can work, because Days of Future Past is all predicated on Future Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde was in the other X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And Wolverine is not part of this. You know, he doesn't come into the X-Men until the later movies as it is. How a prequel movie can do Days of Future Past, I have honestly no idea.
Well, and then they used Hugh Jackman from the previous films as a cameo in the last film. So, and they're actually making another Wolverine, origins movie. So I'm not really understanding how they're going to even do that. So, I mean, it's really more or less to me, I'm thinking that they shouldn't have done that with the cameo, because they could have recast it.
Mm.
And
but then it would have been a complete reboot, and they still want to link it to the later movies for some reason.
Mm.
But they wanted to have Hugh Jackman in there because if they were going to be moving forward with future Wolverine movies, future Hugh Jackman Wolverine movies, and then have a different Wolverine in their X-Men movies, that really wouldn't have tallied. So whilst Hugh Jackman is still making Wolverine movies, we can't have a full X-Men reboot.
That's true.
Which is why they're going for prequels. But again, I just don't see how they can do Days of Future Past without changing the story radically. But I put trust in Matthew Vaughn. He did very well with the first one. I just hope he knows what he's doing with this one.
I'm just looking at the cover image thing of the X-Men First Class poster, and why has everyone got a uniform except for Emma Frost, who's basically just stood around in a bra?
Because that's what Emma Frost wears.
That's it.
Have you not seen her in the comics?
I was going to say, costumes in the comics are bad, but at least it's one piece. Oh, no, it isn't. But it's like some sort of top that has like a cape built into it.
Yeah. I mean she does wear
sort of
variations
like a
on
half
that.
corset thing.
She does wear variations on it in the movie. She's got a few different costumes. Did
you see her costume as like a variant of the Phoenix 5 or whatever they were called?
No.
That was with the Avengers versus X-Men thing. With the basically what happened was the Phoenix Force got instead of getting destroyed, it got turned into like 5 separate like things which possessed. That was what explained Cyclops' weird Nightwing-looking costume as well.
Right.
It was because he got possessed by a part of the Phoenix Force, which it possessed Cyclops, Colossus, Emma Frost, who else? Magic, and someone else. For some reason, it's not telling me on this article, but I'll just give you a link to the costumes. Emma Frost is fucking ridiculous.
Let's have a look at this. Come on, load up.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. This shit.
Any storyline involving Emma Frost pretty much interests me. seeing instance, she took over after Xavier, didn't she?
Yeah, she pretty much runs the school. Yeah.
Oh, the other one that got turned into it, funnily enough, would tie into your Finding Nemo sequel idea, Mike, because it was Namor that got hit by the other one.
Yeah, we discussed on the last episode the Finding Nemo sequel that they're doing is now that Disney and Marvel were saying they should reboot it and make it Finding Nemo.
And then and you can have like them fight. Your solution was having them fight the Fantastic Four.
That's right. I'd go for that.
I'd see that just to see what would happen when they're like, oh look, there's a fish. They're taking on the Fantastic Four. What's going on?
Well, let's face it, it'd be more interesting than an Aquaman movie.
Fuck you.
Aquaman, he sucks balls. He's so shit. His psychic got better powers.
Even
his psychic's got a shit name, Aqualad. The fuck, man?
How does Aqualad have better powers than Aquaman? He has the exact same powers.
No, Aqualad can control water and shit, whereas Aquaman just talks to fish.
What the hell, Aqualad, have you seen? Well, I've only seen the one on Batman the Brave and the Bold, so...
There we go. No, dude, it's stupid. Stupid.
Like I said, like me and Jared both said, read it, it'll change your mind.
No, I don't want to read a shit comic. Thank you very much.
You xenophobic twat.
It's not xenophobic if he lives under the sea.
It's
hydrophobic.
It's still xenophobic.
Huh?
It is, because xenophobic is the fear of anything strange. Anything different.
Aquaman's so different he doesn't even count.
There you are, with your xenophobia again.
Isn't xenophobia the fear of
you're just
the
in
aliens
a mood with
alien?
me. You're just in a mood with me because after Jared suggested it, I called you a douche puppet.
Hush your face, you. Anyway, we'll move on.
The Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast fell apart this week due to more arguments of Aquaman.
Aquaman was responsible.
Mike Bell is suing DC.
When we threw a comment, Aquaman said,
"Don't look at me, mate. I've got nothing to say. I'm really boring."
Fuck it. Next story.
Yes, next story. They want to make a prequel to The Shining.
Huh.
Yes.
What are they going to call it? The Dulling?
No, that would be the Aquaman movie.
Sing!
The fuck
off! No, the idea is basically just being kicked around at the moment. I'm not a dick. Aquaman's a dick. The idea is just kind of being kicked around at the moment, but it does look like we may be getting this film at some point. It's going to be about the backstory of the Overlook Hotel from the original book and the movie. Now, I don't think it's got anything to do with the sequel to The Shining that Stephen King, I don't think it's actually out yet. But he's done a sequel to The Shining, which is all about Danny as a grown-up. Now, it's being worked on by a guy called... where is it? Where are we? Yes, being worked on by writer-producer Later Kalogridis.
Kalogridis!
That's the one. Why'd you have to say that in a Jamaican accent?
I didn't.
Good day to your man, it's Kalogridis. And her partners Bradley Fisher and James Vanderbilt. James Vanderbilt wrote The Amazing Spider-Man and is working on the upcoming RoboCop reboot, or Reboot Cop, as I tend to call it.
Isn't he the one who... Oh, no, I might be thinking of someone else.
Who?
He was the guy who was... Oh, I'm thinking of James Van Der Beek.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say, didn't he get to play the J or Silent Bob in the fake Blunt Man and Chronic film in J and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah, he was fake J, and Jason Biggs was Silent Bob.
Yeah, Silent Bill.
Silent Bill and Ray. Yeah.
Don't you recognize me? I'm the pie fucker.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one, and if it comes to be, then I'm sure we'll pick up on it again in the future. Got a bit of casting news for you now. As we all know, Machete 2, Machete Kills, is being worked on at the moment by Robert Rodriguez, and some very secret casting came out this week. Robert Rodriguez went on his Twitter and just said, basically said, "Oh yeah, I've just put Lady Gaga on my film." So yeah, it's confirmed. Lady Gaga. He's released a poster, a character poster, Lady Gaga as La Chameleon. Yeah, and there she is in traditional Machete form there.
I'd jizz on that for $1.
Well, there we go. Yeah, no.
Lady Gaga's cool.
It does appear to be the official, 100% truth on that. So it's really turned out to be quite an unusual movie, this one, I've got to say. William Sadler's in it as well, which is, I mean, I like him. I think he's a great actor. And now, apparently, there's a character in it called Killjoy, who's being played by Alexa Vega, who was the lead female, the young girl in the Spy Kids movies.
Okay.
And there's
Seriously?
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
All grown up.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, she's certainly grown up. No, I can honestly say I've never watched a Spy Kids movie, so I can look at that picture and just go, goosh.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is in it as well?
Yes, that's the point I was get to.
What the fuck?
Everyone's in this movie, and this is, don't forget, this is the movie Charlie Sheen's playing the president.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Christ.
It's pretty much like this. As amazing as the first casting for Machete was, the second one's even crazier.
Definitely. Well, I think that amping up the crazy, because the rumours, as we heard, that the third one is going to be Machete in space. So you've got it up crazy. Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, this one's all about them trying to stop a satellite with it's basically GoldenEye. It's like trying to stop a weapons satellite. And then the third one will see Machete in space.
Oh God!
They call him Space Machete. He's a bit like Space Einstein from Iron Sky.
Yeah,
they're gonna start attacking him with Albanizer.
God, never.
Well, I mean, this is Robert Rodriguez here, so you have to know what to expect.
He's a mental.
He's a fucking good mental. He's made cracking movies over the last few years.
I still want him to make the one. I'm sure it was him who did the trailer in the Grindhouse thing.
Which one? He did the trailer for Machete, which ended up becoming a real movie.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking. Who am I thinking of then?
Which trailer?
The one about like Thanksgiving or something.
Eli Roth.
Ah, that's who I'm thinking of.
Eli Roth's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, well, he does.
To be fair, I want to see Edgar Wright make the film Don't.
I still want to see Rob Zombie's Werewolf Woman of the SS, starring Nick Cage as Fu Manchu.
Yeah, that looks insane. They can get Lieback to do the soundtrack for that too.
Oh man, seriously, just all the Grindhouse trailers are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'd watch every single one of them as a full movie. And to be fair, we're halfway there. Half of them have already been bloody made, so we're getting there, man.
Yeah, we'll just wait for the next film that Edgar Wright's going to announce will be Don't.
Oh no, he's got enough on his plate. Well, he's got
World's End, and he's got
shooting World's End now. He's going straight from that into Ant-Man, and straight from that onto a movie he announced this week called Collider. Don't know anything about it other than the name at the moment. But when
It's
Ant-Man
about the Higgs boson.
Possibly. And Ant-Man does appear to be released in 2014, so it's going to be a 3 Marvel movie year for that one.
Cool.
Which basically means we're going to have Ant-Man in the Avengers too.
Yep.
Fine by me. Final story in the news section this week is that one of the strangest spin-offs that I've ever seen has been announced this week. They're going to be doing a spin-off from the movie Despicable Me, all about the little henchmen, the Minions. They're getting their own film. Now, considering these things don't even speak English, they speak gibberish. How they can last that for 90 minutes, I don't know. Bear in mind, this is also being worked on at the same time as the sequel to Despicable Me. Now, on the Despicable Me DVD, there was a few short films starring the Minions, but they're literally like 10 minutes long at the most. How you could sustain... I mean, even that was wearing thin by the end of it. How you can sustain that for 90 minutes is beyond me. But, you know, WALL-E basically had an hour without any dialogue at all before he got into space. So, it's doable, I suppose. But we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah. Well, there we go. That's there's
a little video here.
Yeah, that's one of the short films.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. That's the film section then, so I'm going to hand over to Andy now, and he's going to talk comics.
Squirm in fear. It's time to talk comics.
Again, slow week, so what stories I do have are basically everyone should have seen Avengers by now.
Should hope so.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Twice.
Good.
So have I.
I've seen it about 6 times now.
Most of them via means I do not want to repeat. I had to take off someone's fingernails.
Well, I'm not being funny. I think it's pretty obvious. Anyone who's listened to our Avengers special, where did I get the clips from?
That's a fair point, actually.
Well, as I'm not going to officially answer that question, then therefore I'm still in the legal clear.
Yeah. No comment. Basically, because Thanos turned up at the end, obviously.
Spoiler!
Yeah. Like I said, everyone should have seen it by now. Yeah. And if not, you are fucking up your life. Basically, they were going to release a new comic book looking at the early days of Thanos. Because you know they've been releasing Thanos. They've been releasing like chapter 1s of like Spider-Man and Daredevil and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So by the looks of it, they were doing one for Thanos. But now we've got news sent to retailers by Diamond Comic Distributors, which is Thanos, Son of Titan, #1 of 5 variants, has been cancelled.
Huh.
No postponement, no will be resolicited at a later date, just pure out-and-out cancellation. As the Marvel previews containing the solicitation only reached the store this week. That doesn't smack of a late creative team or lower than expected sales. Feels like something bigger, according to Bleeding Cool. Thanos' creator Jim Starlin, though, adamantly scotching any talk of starting a lawsuit against them, because the only creator to win one of those was Stan Lee. He's been making it clear that he created Thanos before coming to Marvel Comics, has proclaimed his displeasure with Marvel over using his creations in movies and comics without financial recompense. So
this is a story that's becoming all too familiar these days. With creators, their characters getting put in movies and then them saying,
"Yeah, I never said you could do that."
Yeah, but it's like the main thing is like, could this be an issue, or did writer Joe Keating take a dump on Isaac Perlmutter's copy of the Wall Street Journal? Update as well, which is Joe Keating doesn't reply to emails, but Steve Wacker tweets, which is he basically tweeted, "For those interested, plans have indeed changed on Thanos. Nothing too dramatic. We just jumped the gun a bit. Joe Keating and Rich Elson both have projects coming up in the Spidey office that we'll be announcing soon. They're bloody great. So, yeah, looks like a Thanos miniseries is going to be postponed at least.
It will arrive, just not for the foreseeable future, basically.
Yeah. They'll probably, I'm guessing what they'll do is they'll hold off until just before Avengers 2 or maybe before Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So people can... Because that would be the logical thing to do, because then...
Well, they're going to want to keep Thanos in the consciousness and everything like that. They're going to want to keep interest in him. I think probably going to see... I'd say you're probably going to get a Thanos miniseries probably mid to late 2013, and then you'll probably get actually no, maybe early 2013, and then you'll probably get a bit of a crossover event with them, probably early to mid 2014, and then you got him in the you got him in Guardians later that year, and then obviously Avengers 2 the next year.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do with them.
Yeah, it seems like the most logical thing. And the other two stories that we've got kind of relate to each other. Firstly, Sir Grant Morrison, it's still weird calling him that, has announced that he's leaving Action Comics and Batman Incorporated in 2013, and he's got no long-term superhero work planned afterwards. He says... Basically, he dropped his bombshell in the middle of a conversation with Comic Book Resources about his upcoming Image series, Happy. And he's like, the idea was always that I keep doing superhero work as long as it gave me a lot of pleasure and it allowed me to express myself. It still does, but I can see the end coming closer. Which he explained was, I'm coming to the end of long runs and stories I've had planned in my notebooks for years, and the stuff I'm developing now is quite different. Action Comics' run concludes with issue 16. Batman Incorporated finishes in issue 12. After that, he doesn't have any plans for monthly superhero books for a while. Multiversity is 8 issues, and he's 30-odd pages into a Wonder Woman project, but those are finite things. And he's also said that he's not like, it's not one of these things where he's like, fuck it, I'm not writing superheroes ever again. It's just that his relationship with them's changed, apparently, especially after
taking a break.
Yeah. I mean, he actually like from that Animal Man thing that story that he did that I mentioned the other week, where he appeared in the end. He actually criticizes his own writing and stuff, and he's saying like how one of the reasons that Animal Man actually met Grant Morrison in the thing, he's like, well, look, I have a habit of building this, like, expectations of a massive climax and then it being completely anticlimactic, or like, and like how he'd started basically using characters as ways to just get his own views on animal cruelty and stuff across, rather than them being themselves and things like that. So I'm guessing it's another one of those types of things, except he's done it actually in an interview rather than in the comic itself.
Right.
So, yeah. And the loss of Morrison is probably going to hurt DC's New 52 line in the short term, especially seeing as Action Comics has basically been labelled the stable Superman series because the Superman monthly has cycled through 3 different writers in 1 year.
Oh God, that's not good.
He says he was saying like his change in attitude towards superheroes is basically him coming to the end of a long, intensive period where he's talking about certain ideas using the language of superheroes. But then he's going to try out some new ideas, exploring opportunities that keep coming up to write novels and screenplays. Screenplays? Oh God! Any movie written by Grant Morrison is going to be insane. But Action Comics 16 is in January next year, and Batman Incorporated number 12 is May next year. But he's apparently not the only one jumping ship. This one, though, is actually halfway decent, because Rob Liefeld's leaving. Yay!
You don't like him.
No. His artwork is absolutely terrible.
He speaks very highly of you know.
Hey?
I said he speaks very highly of you.
Rob Liefeld?
Yeah.
What?
Never mind.
I was going to say, is this a joke that I missed the punchline for?
No, it's alright. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah. But yeah, Rob Liefeld, he's currently writing, co-writing Grifter and Savage Hawkman, as well as writing and drawing Deathstroke. He's been doing covers and stuff for Grifter and Savage Hawkman and stuff as well. It's like, people thought we weren't going to get rid of him because they were like, oh, we'll cancel his Hawk and Dove series. Everyone's like, yay, finally. Rob Liefeld isn't going to do any more DC comics. And they were like, oh no, we're cancelling those, but we're going to whack him on 3 new books rather than the one he was on. It's like, oh, Jesus. But he shared a link.
Aquaman?
Hey?
Are they putting him on Aquaman?
They better fucking not do.
They couldn't make any worse.
Says the person who hasn't read it.
Don't need to read it.
You kind of do to have the
I can see
opinion.
better aquatic adventures by looking in a rock pool.
Fuck off. Sharing a link to news of Morrison's departure, Liefeld dropped his own bombshell, which was basically he retweeted it and just said, I will be close behind. Continuing, he said that his departure's not anytime soon. Boo! 2013's a way off, and explained that the current corporate comics Jesus, he likes alliteration. The current corporate comics conditions are an absolute bear on both sides for both the big two. Not a political statement, #fact. Adding that he's got lots of creator-owned dreams yet to realise, which means he's going to do another bazillion comics about guys with loads of guns and masses of pouches.
That'll be in the 90s again.
Yeah, he's. I mean, have you seen the redone versions of like Youngblood and Prophet and stuff?
They do remind me
of
those.
Cable. Although apparently Bloodstrike and Prophet are really good because they've got completely different writers on. Prophet, they basically got the character Prophet, and he's basically now he's on an alien planet. Everything's completely different and stuff. And it's really cool. Bloodstrike is written by Tim Seeley. He's the guy who writes Hackslash. That's apparently really good as well.
Yeah.
And but Youngblood is apparently still fucking boring. Anyway, summing up his recent company-owned stint, Liefeld tweeted, "As for DC work, I've done my job, stopped the bleeding, revived the patient, enjoying my collaborations." Saying that for him personally, working at DC the past year has been ridiculously enjoyable and fun, and the company treats talent right. So, by the sounds of it, unlike Grant Morrison going, I'm just tired of superheroes and want to go different things, the reason Rob Liefeld's leaving is like, I've got these, he's basically just got all his own creator-owned ideas that he'll probably go over to Image and go, hey, I helped found this company, let me release comics. So
fair enough.
Yeah, I suppose. Everyone, all the comics things seem to be focusing on a lot more creator-owned stuff, because I know Ed Brubaker, the guy who he writes Winter Soldier and something else, after the whole announcement of the Marvel Now thing, where they're rejigging everyone round. People were wondering if Brubaker was going to pick up more titles, but apparently no. The only ones he was focusing on is Winter Soldier and his other title that I can't remember which it is, because most of his attention is on creator-owned stuff on different imprints. So everyone seems to be going with that. So, yeah. That's pretty much all of the comic news. We got through that fast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we'll move on then to the TV section. Caught me off guard slightly, but yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't know unless you guys have any comments about it. It's just... there's not really much to say. I mean, Grant Morrison and Rob Liefeld are leaving, and Thanos got cancelled.
Yeah, I mean, trying to think if there's anything else.
Week. All the other stuff, I mean, there is that story I mentioned to you, which was the novelization of The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Mentioning, like, what happened to the Joker, kind of.
Yeah, because he's never mentioned in the actual The Dark Knight movie. I mean, I'd say spoiler, but it's not, because they don't mention anything at all. Yeah, but in the novelization, they basically say that all the prisoners, there are no prisoners in Arkham, they're all in Blackgate, and there's only one inmate at Arkham now, and it's the Joker. That's it. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I thought they would have put Scarecrow in there as well.
Well, no.
He's more insane in a controlled way. Like, they can at least control him. Whereas...
I don't want to talk about the Scarecrow.
Oh,
because
it's
you haven't seen the movie.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Never mind then.
Yeah.
TV?
Well, put it this way. You don't see... Scarecrow is not in The Dark Knight Rises.
I know my brother has already said that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Tremble at the might of the TV section.
Anyway, so moving on to TV, yeah. Disney have said that they want a live-action TV series set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They want basically Avengers the TV series, is what they're aiming for. Now, obviously, they're not going to have a weekly TV show based on Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, all of them, because you're not going to be able to get the same actors or anything like that. Plus, I think it would devalue the movie franchise. Plus, so what the only thing I could think they would possibly do is go for kind of second stringers and maybe make it a Heroes for Hire TV series or a S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series.
Yeah, cool. They could have, like, most of the stuff focusing around, like, Maria Hill and her cohorts or whatever.
Well, that would actually tie in, because I think they're actually said that they're not really going to do much more in terms of How I Met Your Mother, which means she ain't going to be on that show for much longer. So she would be available for a S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series. But I think Heroes for Hire would work.
Yeah, could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm rather on the fence about it because, I mean, what if it goes bad?
Well, that's always been the big deal with the live action, with the movie series at the moment. Is I forget who it was I was reading this week, so I read a quote from someone, and they said that they thought it was a bad idea to do Thor before the Avengers. It was Zach Penn, because he was originally writing the script for the Avengers before Joss Whedon got brought on board, and he said that he wanted to introduce Thor in the actual Avengers movie. He always thought it was a bad idea because he didn't know if people would just take to Asgard, the concept of Asgard, straight away in its own flick. He wanted to just bring him straight in, boom, on the round. Here is Thor, and he's going to help you, because the villain was always going to be Loki. So it was going to be like Loki comes to Earth, and then Thor comes to chase. Basically, exactly how it is right now. Imagine the Avengers film right now, but we hadn't had Thor before. Basically, that. And the Avengers works quite well in as much as you don't need to have seen Thor to know
that is true.
Thor is.
Yeah.
So just imagine, everything but without Thor, and that would have been it. Also, interestingly, at one point there was discussions as to having the Red Skull as the villain instead of Loki.
Have who?
The Red Skull.
Oh.
In Thor?
No, in the Avengers.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, that
to be honest, that was what I was expecting until I saw the end of Captain America.
Yeah.
I mean, go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say, with them, I think it's in the comics called like the Power Cube or something like that. They call it the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cosmic Cube. Yeah.
The Cosmic Cube. With them bringing that into play in Captain America, and Captain America, kind of bridged the gap. Well, no, Thor bridged the gap for them to use that in Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they had not made Thor, then we would have been, there would have been key pieces that would have had to been changed. And my thoughts on the Red Skull is that they're going to actually try to bring him back in the second, either the second Avengers movie or the second Captain America movie. I don't know, but
I reckon they could probably get more stuff film wise out of Red Skull.
I mean, he got zapped away somewhere at the end of.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, we got. Especially seeing as like when watching Captain America, you'd be like, oh, okay, so the thing just disintegrated him. But then watching the Avengers, they're like, oh, so it's a bridge.
Yeah.
Huh. And then it's just like, it means that Red Skull's been taken away somewhere. So.
Well, that's
maybe Thanos has got him.
That's what I got from it, right as when I was watching Captain America, and basically a rip in reality showed up, and he was taken up in it. I was pretty much at that point.
Spoilers.
Yeah, pretty much a spoiler. He's coming back at some point in time.
Definitely. Well, you've just said it there. How do we know that? Whereas Loki, when he got transported to another point in space, where he was with the Chitauri and Thanos and everything, how do we know that Red Skull wasn't transported through time?
Fair point.
That's true.
He could reappear in the present day, and become an adversary for Cap and the Winter Soldier, for Bucky.
Yeah, that's what I read, that they were bringing the Winter Soldier into play. I think that's the title.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Yeah, Sebastian Stan has been confirmed that he's coming back to play Bucky Barnes. Obviously, we know what Bucky's going to become, the Winter Soldier. There's obviously hints of that in the first Captain America movie, where they find, he goes and rescues Bucky off of that experimentation table in the Red Skull's lair. So the seeds have already been sown in for Bucky to become the Winter Soldier. So.
But it would make sense, because we were debating on who would be the foe for Captain America 2 anyway.
Yes.
I mean, one idea we had was Sin, Red Skull's daughter, but they never introduced him actually having any family whatsoever, so I don't know where the fuck they'd pull that, so that seems highly doubtful. And we were like, oh, they could have, some people have said MODOK, and we were both like, Although I still think if they want to get MODOK in, they should do like what we said in the Incredible Hulk commentary, with the intro credits having all the stuff, that shows like Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk. Yeah. They could do sort of like that for the beginning of Captain America 2, and show him like battling more people in like present day. So then when it gets to the actual story, it's like, he's used to present day. He's fought all these different things.
See, I've always wanted that for a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
I've always wanted that, just so we can see the Shocker in the Spider-Man movie. I don't care which villains they use, as long as I see Shocker in one Spider-Man film before I die, I'll be very happy. Even though he's rubbish, I just want to see him.
Yeah, because you could just get all sorts of random like extra villains in there. Because like if you did that at the beginning of Captain America, you could have MODOK, you could have who else fights Captain America actually?
Baron Zemo. But Baron Zemo, you'd have to have quite a big film for Baron Zemo. That's why I think he would probably be the main baddie for Captain America 2. If I had to choose anything now, it would be the storyline would be because Baron Zemo was connected with Hydra and everything like that. Is I would say that they fish Bucky out of the bottom of the cliff or whatever, and they do all the brainwashing, the cryogenics, and blah 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 blah, and he becomes the Winter Soldier working for Baron Zemo and AIM, and basically maybe we see this guy, he's a character and he's just around and about, blah blah blah, and then it turns out he's actually, and then it's revealed that he's Baron Zemo, and we find out that he actually puts like the balaclava thing over his head, and that's when we get a bit of a look at the actual Baron Zemo. But he's been like, with Rorschach and Watchmen, where he's just walking around, at the end of his eye. He's just this guy. You see the character all the time. I mean, obviously he'd have to be quite a large character in it. And then, like with Liam Neeson in Batman Begins, he's too card for all of it, and then all of a sudden you realise at the end, he's actually Ra's al Ghul. You'll have this guy around, and then suddenly it's revealed that he's actually Baron Zemo and stuff. That kind of
yeah.
That's all I'd do. Yeah.
Looking at a list of Captain America villains, I completely forgot about Crossbones, who's the chief henchman of the Red Skull, so you could involve him somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. I'd also like to get Cap in the US agent costume at some point. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So we got completely off the track there. We were supposed to be talking about TV news, and we got all onto Captain America.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not the show.
It happens. At least it was a constructive tangent.
Yes.
Compared to normally, where it's like, and then Clarice Starling for such and such. I mean, like last week where we were like talking about Michael Clark Duncan, and then that whole thing where it's like, and then Ben Affleck. Colin Farrell brings Ben Affleck, and then fucking. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite odd.
Speaking of random things and mysterious places.
Yes.
Area 51.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my underpants. No. Yes, Area 51. Yes.
I don't think that's a good like chat up line. Go up to a lass in a bar and go, do you want to see the mysterious place that is my underpants?
It's worked before. Yeah, AMC, the station that brings you Comic Book Men and The Walking Dead. They're developing at the moment a series based on Area 51. Now, what the actual series itself would be, I have no idea. I mean, it just says here, the show's plot will centre around 2 Area 51 employees who end up in danger when they discover highly sensitive government secrets. And not be funny, if they work at Area fucking 51, they're gonna know quite a fair few secrets as it is anyway.
Yeah.
It just sounds to me, it sounds like an updated version of Dark Skies. Really, if you remember that show. It was set in the 60s, and it was all, this guy was basically a man in black. Finds out all about aliens and stuff, and then basically wants to go on the run to tell the world that there's actually a secret alien invasion going on.
Yeah. When was this show on?
Dark Skies. Around 94, 95.
Ah, okay. I was going to say, how do you know all of these like ridiculously old shows when you're only like 2-3 years older than I am?
28, 1995. I was 11. You know what I mean? I'm not stupid.
I was like, what was I? 7.
Don't make me feel old. Yeah, no, man, no. Dark Skies, I always remember Jerry Ryan being on that show. In fact, my very, very first tweet that I mentioned Jerry Ryan in, I said I was talking about Dark Skies, and she tweeted me back saying, "Oh yeah, she still love working on that show." I was like, "Oh yeah."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, she's great. Yeah, there was quite a fair few people in that one. JT Walsh, he was in it. Dead now, sadly. JT Walsh was in it. God. I mean, you just go through the episodes and there's loads of people. The pilot episode was directed by Toby Hooper. So, yeah. Check it out. But yes, so they want to do a TV series based on Area 51. We'll see. what happens with that. Now, as you mentioned, Clarice Starling before, obviously, as regular listeners to the show would know, there are two TV series coming through. One is the Clarice Starling TV series, and the other one is the Hannibal Lecter Will Graham TV series. It's been announced this week that Morpheus himself, Larry Fishburne, is going to be portraying Will Graham's boss on the Hannibal TV series.
Are they going to play up to the proper 80s cop show thing where Lawrence Fishburne's just going to yell at them the entire time, going, "I'll take your badges"?
Most likely, yeah. Whereas Hannibal's like, "I'll take your face," and the boss is like, "We don't live in Miami."
Quick, talk to that Asian guy who was training the kid.
What?
Mr. Miami.
Remember? Mr. Miami, yeah. Wax on, face off.
Yes,
that's still right,
yeah. Clip last week.
That's right, yes, yeah. Stop me a minute then, yeah. Oh, okay. Actually, better get this in now, because we haven't done it yet, and I don't want to go a whole episode without saying, first of all, Nagini! And Mr. Wiggle.
Mr. Wiggles.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go a whole episode without that.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised we haven't referenced Zoe yet, either.
Oh, yeah. I actually had a few...
Although I was going to reference...
At the weekend, because I was wearing my 50-foot nerd shirt at the convention a few times when I was walking around, because I completely forgot Nagini's written on the back of my t-shirt, isn't it? So I had a few people shout that at me, as we were walking past them, just go, Nagini! At me. I was like, hey.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I was going to mention her earlier because we were talking about Kevin Smith, and I wondered if she was going to be annoyed at me, because I think I included her name, her Twitter name, in the tweet.
Oh
saying
dear, that tweet that we mentioned previous that I don't think will be in the pre-credits.
No, it won't. But basically, I've mentioned it on Twitter before, and I made. If
you want to include it in the show, mate, then go ahead.
Oh, she won't deny it. We basically me and Zoe were. Why?
Because it's wrong.
It depends what sort of stuff you like.
When we get the Monica's supposed to be coming back on next week to talk about AdultCon. When she's on, I'm going to ask her what she thinks of that. As far as I'm aware, she said she was coming on after she gets back from AdultCon. So I assume she's back on next week. When she comes back on, I'm going to ask her what she thinks of this. And I bet you, swear to fucking God, as kinky as she is, she'll agree with me.
We'll see.
Well, tell the good people at home anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say Brendan's probably confused the fuck right now.
I'm just taking it all in.
That's what she said.
Or rather, in this case, in this story, that's what he said.
No, because I'm not...
Tell the story.
Don't get me on the subject of that. Basically, I tweeted Kevin Smith saying how... because I forgot to ages ago, and I just figured I may as well tell him that basically me and Zoe once were watching Clerks, and it got to the bit with where they're talking about that guy being called Snowball. Yeah. Brendan, I think you can tell where this is going already.
Explain the concept for people anyone who hasn't seen Clerks.
Right, basically, the concept of snowballing is where...
After he gets a blowjob, he likes to have it spit back into his mouth while kissing. It's called snowballing.
Like, you ejaculate in the woman's mouth. And then
now we use this technical medical fucking term. You ejaculate. This is the guy, I'll jizz on that for $1. And now
I'm just...
The male penis ejaculates the semen into the female's...
You asked me for an explanation, so I'm giving it in proper terms. So basically, yeah, we were like...
Spit your junk into a gob.
So basically we thought, oh, we're going to try that. So, yeah, did.
What the fuck, you know what I mean? It's like, I see Bungie jumping on the telly and think, oh, I might have a go at that one day. You watch people talking about jizzing in someone's mouth and then swallowing it back off them, you're like, let's do that now.
I didn't say we did it immediately that minute.
Well, whatever. Either way, that's all I see in my head. Is I just see talking about that bit. It's like
You're actually seeing me getting a blowjob in your head.
No, we didn't see that at all.
That's what you just said.
I just said no. I didn't see that at all. I said like you're watching that you're watching it and in my head you're like, let's do that right now. I didn't say I actually saw the physical act in my head. I just imagined you two sitting next to each other and going, yeah, go on then, There we go.
It was close following the film, but...
Well, there we go.
It wasn't that minute.
And the moment after you'd done it, Zoe went to the bathroom and shagged a complete stranger in there. But he was dead!
No, that's going too far.
Sorry.
Yeah. Better be.
Anyway.
No,
so you got your reference in this week, Zoe.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Larry Fishburne. That's right, yeah.
I don't know how we got onto snowballing from that.
I have no idea.
Because you said about Nagini and Mr. Wiggles, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, Lawrence Fishburne is in Hannibal.
Yes, well, the next story is about that stupid, no idea why, new TV series of the Green Arrow, which is just called Arrow.
Really?
It's been announced this week that there's a couple of new characters coming into it, of which one is Deadshot.
Huh.
Now, personally, I'm not keen on seeing Deadshot in anything outside of a movie, because I think he just works as a great character. In fact, I like to believe that in Dark Knight Rises, one of Bane's henchmen, Brenden, you've seen the movie, the guy who speaks to the army on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to believe that is Deadshot, because he's very handy with his guns, and he's got high caliber rounds taped to his flak jacket as well. So I
can see that.
Yeah, I like to believe that that's Deadshot.
The company that's actually making the new Green Arrow TV show is the same company that made Smallville and Birds of Prey, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, if they're going along the same lines as that, if they even get past the first season, I can see them pulling a lot of different villains from the DC universe. So
it's already confirmed that they're going to have Deathstroke in there. Deadshot's going to be in episode 3, and there was another one. Where was it? China White is apparently going to be in there. I don't really know much about China White, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, we're definitely getting a Deadshot. So interesting.
Oh. It was just saying how Deathstroke was in the teaser trailer, and I was like, I don't remember seeing that, so I just had to look at it, and I can't find a working version of it.
Yeah, there's a little bit where there's basically a bit of a kind of almost semi-apocalyptic terrain, and Deathstroke mask is kind of just flapping in the wind on a stick.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, yeah. So you have to look hard for it, but it is there.
The only thing I ask from any new series such as that is, when they get ready to end the actual series, it has a better ending than Smallville.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I know loads of people have said their main criticism of the Smallville is the fact that Superman never actually becomes Superman in the show.
Mm. Well, he does
that is kind of rubbish. That the guy basically was practically one of the longest running people playing the character of Superman, and he never got to wear the costume.
No, he did. He did.
He wore it in the last episode, and it's more or less like Smallville.
Wasn't even his costume. It was Brandon Routh's costume from Superman Returns.
Yeah.
So that's why you never got to see him in it, because it wasn't fitted to him. So it would have just looked weird. It wouldn't have fit him properly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think the premise of that show was made on the fact of that he wouldn't fly, he wouldn't wear the costume, he was just an origin story, and I don't think they meant for it to last as long as it did. They kept renewing it, so they had to keep coming up with ideas and keeping it going, without calling it something other than Smallville.
Yeah, what pissed me off so much about it is the fact that, he's basically an adult living an adult life now, like doing his vigilante stuff on the side and stuff, but the fact that everyone knows him for years without glasses on, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'll just start wearing glasses, and then Superman turns up out of nowhere, who's this mysterious stranger we've never seen before? You know what I mean?
Well, the only thing that, like I said, they threw in all of these different characters, all of these different villains, such as Doomsday. Doomsday, the person that killed Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't like what they did with Doomsday. The whole Jekyll and Hyde kind of deal with him.
Yeah, there was that.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it's basically like basically the guy who was Doomsday is kind of like, I don't even remember the full deal with it. He's basically bioengineered in, don't get with the guy who played him is a really good actor. He's actually on the American Being Human at the moment. And also, actually, he's the main character. He's the likeness and voice actor for the main character in the Star Wars Unleashed video games. Starkiller.
Yeah.
And but in the TV series, it's basically this ambulance driver who goes out with Chloe in it, and then every now and again he'll just transform into Doomsday. I can't remember if he's like a Kryptonian kind of like biological experiments or something like that. I don't remember the exact.
That's what I remember it as.
I remember him transforming on the wedding day or something and rampaging through the wedding and kidnapping Chloe or something like that. I don't remember the exact ins and outs of it.
That's how it went, and the ending to it was they used black kryptonite to basically separate his human side from the Kryptonian side, and Clark Kent took on Doomsday, and Davis ended up killing Jimmy Olsen.
Right.
The older brother of Jimmy Olsen.
Oh, right, okay, right. I was going to say, because I'm sure Jimmy was in it. It was the end, I thought. Well, Jimmy Olsen was actually played by the guy who played Iceman, wasn't he, in the X-Men movies? So, everything kind of comes full circle.
No, I think that was his brother.
Oh, his brother. Oh, yeah, the twins, aren't they? That's right.
Yeah, they're twins.
Yeah. Yes, I've got to say that the Doomsday they had in the TV series is very faithful to the comics in the look. Very faithful. It's just unfortunately the storyline wasn't quite there. But yeah, I would have liked to have actually seen the Death of Superman storyline done in Smallville. That would have been quite interesting. But they actually killed Clark off only for him to come back and whatever.
They killed him off several times in that show. I can't remember how many times he's died, but he ended up falling off of a 40-story building when Zod stabbed him with blue kryptonite.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! Superman has only ever died once, and that is the only time he should ever die. For God's sakes! Oh well. But I'm glad Smallville's gone. Hopefully the new Man of Steel movie can kind of take the sour taste away from the end of Smallville, and we can actually get a decent Superman story for once. But after the teaser trailer we discussed last week, the jury's still out on it, I'm afraid. The jury's still out. Well, we'll move on to the next piece of story. Actually, no, we won't move on to the next piece of TV news, because about the monsters. But should we discuss that?
No, why?
Exactly. We'll go on to the next one then.
I figured that was why you put that in there.
Yeah. No, the only bit of news about the monsters is they want to try and use the old theme tune, But they kind of want to gothic it up and slow it down and stuff and make that the actual theme tune for the show. Yeah. Now the Psycho TV series, the prequel series, that's going ahead. It seems like a lot of old franchises are getting TV series, which is a bit weird. Yeah, they're doing a 10-episode series, which is going to be a prequel. Norman Bates is going to be around 16, 17 years old, and his mum's going to be in it. And apparently she's described as in her early 40s and very hot. So Norman Bates has got a MILF.
Okay.
As opposed to the, what I suppose to be Mills. It's in the actual movie. That would be MILS. Mum, I'd like to stuff.
That still sounds wrong.
Well, he stuffed her and put her in the loft.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So it's basically going to be about Bates' family buying the motel and them living there. And apparently we're going to see other members of the Bates family. Apparently Norman's going to have a brother. So yeah. Or a sister.
He better be. I'm really hoping that they're like, we're going to change it so he's got proper
bionic leg.
Silver spoon. No, bionic leg. No, a silver spoon upbringing, and then he'll have a butler who will.
This sounds familiar. And then his parents will be gunned down in Crime Alley.
No, I was going to say he'll have a butler, and then they can have the running gag of the butler she'll be like, go get Norman for his tea, and then he'll be like, the butler will be like, yes, Mom, and then he'll walk into the room and be like, your tea, Master Bates, and then Norman will be like, my tea does what now?
God in heaven.
Sorry.
Don't even. Let's just bypass that quickly and move on to. We discussed a few weeks ago that Dr. Horrible is getting a TV airing in the States. It's announced that it's actually going to be on Tuesday, October the 9th on the CW network. So if you're in America and you like Dr. Horrible and want to watch it on TV, then that's when you can watch it. Or you can just watch it now on YouTube or buy the DVD.
Fair point.
But, yeah. So, check it out, because as we all know...
The hammer is my penis.
Let's see, what else have we got then? Final bit of TV news I've got is about the Beware the Batman, the new animated series. Apparently, because of the recent events surrounding the screening of that fateful screening of The Dark Knight Rises, the new animated series Beware the Batman is having to be edited for content. It's because apparently they were going to be quite realistic in terms of their guns and what have you. But they're going to change it to make a slightly more sci-fi appearance. Now, this was basically the reason why, the old Spider-Man animated TV series, the classic one, the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's why all the police and everything had laser guns and stuff, because back in the day, kids weren't allowed to see actual firearms being used. There had to be futuristic weapons that were, the heightened sense of reality. And those kind of got, laws, in a sense, kind of got relaxed over time. But now, again, they're like, we don't want Batman to be up against actual physical firearms. We want lasers and stuff like that. So they're changing it. It's going to cost quite a fair bit to do because it's a CGI animated series and they've already animated and finalised a lot of it. So they've got to go back in and do a lot of model changes on the weapons, and it's just going to be a pain in the arse to do all the rendering again. But if that's what they want to do, then fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, DC Comics delayed the release of Batman Incorporated #3 as well.
That's right. Yes.
Because the issue features a teacher who threatens her students with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. But
this is another note as well. Dark Knight. Hans Zimmer has actually written and recorded a song for the victims of the shooting as well.
Has he?
Yeah, according to this. Let me just have a look. Yeah, it says he recorded a new composition titled Aurora that will benefit the victims from the shooting. And then, obviously Zimmer's the film's composer.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Aurora is dedicated to those who lost their lives and were affected by the tragedy. I recorded this song in London in the days following the tragedy as a heartfelt tribute to the victims and their families. So, there's actually a thing being set up for it as well, the Aurora Victim Relief Organisation.
Good.
So, Warner Brothers has already announced that they're making donations to the families of those killed and injured as well.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, so I'll try and find a clip of the song and put it in here.
Okay.
So yeah, if find the clip, I'm just gonna buy the song. So
yeah, just buy the song. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that takes us to the end of the TV section. So we're gonna move into the final part of the show, which is the Any Other Business section.
Any other business?
And the first story I've got this
Brenden,
week...
be aware that this is the part where things get really weird.
As opposed to the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
snowballs away.
The first story I've got here is the Germans. The good old, crazy, fucked up Germans. They've set up a hotline for people to call and blow off steam. It's a swearing hotline. The swearing hotline called the... You speak German. How do you pronounce that?
Schimpflos.
Translated as swear away. Allows people to call up 24/7 and use all manner of colourful language to berate the person on the other end of the line. Founder Ralf Schult told Reuters, and I will do this in my favourite Camp Hitler accent, if you're stressed out at work, you go home and your partner gets an earful, even though it's not her fault. We don't judge people who are angry. It happens. It's natural. With us, you can blow steam, no strings attached. Sounds like when I'm on gaydar. If callers find themselves out of cases or wondering what to say, operators will likely taunt them by saying, "There you go. Hey, you little cheeky shit." It's around about £1.16 a minute, and Schultz called the service a bargain and thinks it's great for getting everything off your chest. So, if you're German and you like to shout at people, then give them a call.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I like the idea.
Yeah, although, to be fair, as soon as it was like, you call up and start berating people at the other end of the line, the first thing I remember, because I've been watching Ross Noble again recently, is the thing where he's talking about randomness. So I just imagine someone picking it up and then just Ross Noble yelling, "I don't want a bucket of shrimp! I just want to go to the cinema!"
Oh, yeah. The cinema! That one,
yeah.
Well, we have a similar line like that in the UK. It's what I work on. People just ring me up and shout at me all day anyway. So,
Yeah.
But
I remember there was talk about one of these phone lines before, I think, somewhere in the UK. They were talking about something like it anyway. But it ended up getting not getting set up because they got talking to the guy running it about the charges, and they said, "Well, how much is it going to cost a minute?" And the guy looked them straight in the eye.
No,
said,
no, don't you dare caught that one literally at the very last second there.
I'm surprised you didn't get it clear.
Don't you dare. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Well...
Oh, which I noticed in the episode with Demonica Devour, you edited out the bit... Damn it.
Next story is about the man, where is he from? Wallace Weatherholt is from Florida. What do you know? The man got his hand bitten off by an alligator, as opposed to a man having his face chewed off instead. He got his hand bitten off by the alligator. He's then been charged with illegally feeding an animal.
What?
Yes.
That's kind of unfair.
He was arrested on suspicion of unlawfully feeding an alligator and had to post $1,000 bail. He was dangling a fish in front of the 9-foot reptile and placed his hand on the surface of the water whilst giving his family a tour of the Everglades. Well, you know, he's fucking dozy then, isn't he?
Well, in that case, it makes sense. I thought it was just like, oh, I'm going to... he's like, oh, I dropped something on the top of this lake. I'll just pick it up, and then all of a sudden an alligator chews his hand off, and he's like, ah! And then they were like, well, seeing as the alligator ingested your hand, you've illegally fed it. And it's like...
Well, it says the alligator that bit off his hand was later found with a clock ticking inside its stomach, and
when he got his hand chewed off, the guy ran away yelling, "Smee!"
The alligator, they found it and they killed it because obviously it had a taste for human flesh. They found his hand in its stomach, but unfortunately it could not be reattached, mainly because it was chewed beyond fucking recognition. The man's actually due back in court in Florida on August the 22nd for a second-degree misdemeanor.
The alligator handler was bitten back in January after a prank went wrong. Don't know what that's got to do with the story apart from alligators, but never mind.
There we go. What fucking mental's that? It's like, oh, yeah. He's like, my hand, and there's a policeman there saying, I'm gonna have to put you in handcuffs. I'm gonna have to put you in one handcuff, and you come with me down to the station. And meanwhile, his stump's just pumping out blood and shit like that. Yeah.
Quick, we've got to leave. Why? They'll be back and in greater numbers. They've got a taste for blood.
Alligators coming to eat you. Now, funny enough, it's not the only story.
And thus Killer Croc was born.
Yeah. It's not the only story about missing body parts I've got this week. Now, this one is about a man in China. You may have heard this story in other places, but so that we're telling it as well. That's a guy called Fei Lin. So he literally was Fei Lin. Basically, he lives in Niqiao village near the Wenling city. Basically, he was asleep in bed one night, and all of a sudden, a group of men burst into his bedroom, stuck a bag over his head, and then chopped off his cock. Now he says that basically they ran in, put something over his head, and he was so in shock about the whole thing he didn't realise that anything was wrong. It's only when he looked down, saw a big pool of blood, and saw his cock was gone, that he realised, oh shit. Now bear in mind, this guy was apparently having a number of affairs with married women from his village, and the general consensus is that it's their husbands and lovers that basically enacted their revenge on this guy.
Yeah.
It says the police and emergency services attempted in vain to find his missing penis, and the investigation is ongoing. Basically, after this amount of time, I don't think they're going to be able to attach that back on.
Yeah, the place I heard about this first was on Tell 'em Steve Dave. Was it last week or week before?
Yeah, it was on Friday's episode just gone. Yeah, because I only listened to it today though. Yeah,
and.
It's just a shame that in the UK we have to put up with Gok 1, whereas in America this guy's got to put up with Cock Gone.
He's in China.
What? Why? What did I say?
You said America?
Did I?
Yeah.
I think you're still thinking about the guy from Florida.
Well, people are just missing hands and faces. What there is somewhere, there's actually a guy, Frankenstein is actually making a creature somewhere. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's going, what do I need? Well,
I
need a face. I'll take it from some
and
guy.
one day my man will be completed, yes.
I'm going to sell him to Camp Hitler, therefore I need the greatest penis in the land.
Bring me Marky Mark from that movie.
Sir, that was a movie.
Well, in that case, just get me some random Chinese man. That will do. And we shall do it for science.
For science!
To coin a phrase.
Yes. But yeah, my main issue listening to that was Q's reaction, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I think they should be thanking the guy." I'm like, well, no, because I would have done exactly the same thing as they just did.
Well,
I would have, yeah.
Well, our final story this week, we're going to leave you with something we've been covering quite some time now. It's 50 Shades of Shite. A UK hotel has, it's the Lake District Stamson Dean Hotel. Normally in a hotel, you'll open the drawer and see a copy of the Gideon Bible. In this hotel, you'll open the drawer and find a copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
Do you know why? Because they're all on sale, because it's shit.
Well, that's true. But the reason that they give it is no one wants to go and read the Bible. So so they're saying that we stick a copy of this in the drawer, people are going to curl up in bed and start reading 50 Shades of Grey. And I imagine that those copies would have been flicked through quite a fair bit.
That's not the only thing that's going to be flicked.
Goosh. So there we go. It says that the local vicar has basically said he's publicly decried the swap and dubbed it a gimmick.
Well, duh.
Of course, this is a vicar. The male members of the clergy who are not allowed to marry and will have never known a woman's touch. But maybe some young boys.
Pedo.
On that...
I'm a pedo, Harry!
Yeah, I'm going to take that clip out of context. And on that note, I'm going to end the show.
Yeah. Sorry, I just actually...
Every time I'm trying to fucking outro the show, you always jump in with something. Go on.
Well, yeah, it's because it's actually... I did find another story, but I'm not going to bring it up. I'm going to talk to you after we finish. Sorry. But, basically, it said... at the bottom of this article with the movie adaptation with the producers of The Social Network. I misread that, and I thought it said that 50 Shades of Grey was an adaptation of The Social Network, and I was like, what?
Yeah, there's that bit where Mark Zuckerberg's fucking pulling out tampons and shit. Don't you know?
Oh yeah, it's like that's what he did to those twins.
God. Well, on that bombshell.
It was...
Shut up and let me end this show.
No! It was a metaphor of how Mark Zuckerberg screwed over his partners.
Oh, Facebook Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Anyway, end of the show. I'll tell you all our contact details. If you want to get in touch with us, you can contact us on Twitter, which is 50footnerds. I almost said 50 Shades. 50foot at 50footnerds. Email 50footnerds@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, facebook.com/attack150footnerds. I'd like to thank Brenden for jumping in and being a third nerd on the show today. Hope you enjoyed your time, sir.
I did.
Yeah.
Good. And anytime you want to come back on, just let us know. And obviously spread the word. Let people know that you were on the show. We will do the same. And,
all right.
Yeah. So that's basically it. Is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to point people towards?
Other than, we working on new music and a web show sometime within the next few months. I can get it panned out. Anyone who wants information can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/whoisBrenden Myles Harkens, or through GCC, which is gccent.tk.
Okay.
Oh, is that what you needed that photo for?
What now?
What was the address again?
gccent.tk.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Is this what you needed the picture of me for?
Oh yeah, the picture.
No, that was just personal use.
No, the pictures. I was putting together a different structure for the website, so that way people can get to information and everything like that, which should either be done because I handled pretty much the information side. There's someone else that handles the web design. So basically, it should either be up now or be up this week. The redesign of the website. Cool. So
fair enough.
Well, everyone should go and check that all out then. And,
and download his music as well at brendanmylesharkens.bandcamp.com because it has a verse by me on it,
well,
as well as like other awesome songs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually downloaded that album twice because there was the two versions.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
People go and support our third nerd for this episode, and in turn you'll also be helping out Andy as well.
Yeah, which reminds me, I actually released a new song this week too.
Oh, do you want to let people know where they can find that?
Yeah, just go to vaultsofextoth.bandcamp.com. It's called Betrayal. It's like the first track I've actually released for download that's going to be on the split that I'm doing with Jared, JFX316, from glitch/#facts. He's got one up as available for download, free download as well, which just go to jfx316.bandcamp.com and you can get his track Illuminati from his half of the split. So yeah, we'll hopefully have that released soon. He's working on a couple of new songs, and that's also what I'm doing on Wednesday, as well as working on beats for Brenden.
Cool. Well, as soon as everyone else has got all these Bandcamps, I might start one up myself. I think
I already started a 50-foot Nerds one.
Oh, there we go. Well, I might just start one for myself. I might start doing audiobooks, but as the Bane voice. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times, Mr. Wayne. Do
the Bane version of 50 Shades of Grey.
He walked into the bedroom and saw her bent over. I went over, pulled out the tampon, and licked the blood off the end. I slapped her across the face and said, "Your punishment must be more severe."
Oh, God.
At which point she went, "Goosh."
Oh, here you go. Read this list.
Oh, God, hang on. What am I doing here? What's this? I'm supposed to be ending the show, and he's sending me stuff. Sending me links. Right, okay.
Right. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Random quotes from 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, right. Let's see. I'll just pick one up from here. There we go. Fuck.
Oh, we should totally do these in different voices.
It slips down my throat. All seawater, salt, the sharp tang of citrus, and fleshiness. Ooh. I lick my lips, and he's watching me intently, his eyes hooded.
It's my mother!
I'm losing all sense of self, every atom in my being concentrating hard on that small, potent powerhouse at the apex of my thighs.
I couldn't even finish that one.
You have dreadful sex hair, Mr. Wayne.
Oh, God. Do some other voices.
I found some baby oil. Let me rub it on your behind.
Yeah, suck me, baby. His thumb presses on my tongue, and my mouth closes around him, sucking wildly. Holy fuck! This is wrong, but holy hell is it erotic. She was my maid.
Oh, God.
I thought it was chocolate hot fudge brownie sex that we had, but with the chocolate brownie sex.
Oh, God.
Got a taste for the sounds of a steal. You're becoming insatiable, mamas. Yes. Let's see, what else have we got there? Oh, God. Oh, I honestly don't know what else. Yeah. God. Oh, fuck. I just think my mum's on holiday at this moment. She's reading this book. Fucking hell. I don't remember reading about nipple clamps in the Bible.
Anyway. We're going to end things there. That was episode 14 of the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast then. To anyone new listening, what the fuck have you let yourself in for? Next time for the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds then. My name is Mike Bell.
I'm Andy Weirs.
I'm Brenden Myles Harkens.
Geek out.
If you've enjoyed the nerddom in your ears, then please follow us on Twitter at 50footnerds, or email us anything except spam at 50footnerds@gmail.com.
Well, there we go. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
What a way to fucking end it. Fucking.
I'm sorry, I just had to.
My insides practically contort with potent, needy, liquid desire.
I want you to become well acquainted, on first-name terms, if you will, with my favorite and most cherished part of my body. I'm very attached to this.
Anticipation hangs heavy and portentous over my head like a dark tropical storm cloud. Butterflies flood my belly, as well as a darker, carnal, captivating ache, as I try to imagine what he will do to me.
Hurdy-gurdy-gurdy.
The man kneels before Christian Grey. Fuck.
Sorry, I've got to use future Andy. My subconscious purpose and that's the word. Oh! I ignore her. Sitting beside me, he gently pulls my sweatpants down again. Up and down like hose draws, my subconscious remarks bitterly. In my head, I tell her where to go.
I just can't stop laughing at that voice. Oh, future Andy's brilliant. Oh.